Hello. So, I just wanted to talk about the journey that I've been on with kind of spirituality, but more than that, like I've really been trying to like discover my true self, and I've had some ups and downs, and I just wanted to talk and let you know that if you're on a journey of your own, that you're not alone, and just anyway, I'm just not waving the knife. Throwing my flashlight in the darkness. So anyway, so I've kind of consistently been on this journey for the last maybe 2 or 3 years, but then doing some deeper work recently, I realized that my journey actually started probably 2014 was probably the first time that I noticed the first real shock, or the only way I can think to describe it is if you've seen Encanto, when the cracks start, the first time they see the cracks, that's what it was in 2014. And we'll get to it. So in 2014, what caused the first cracks in my foundation? Actually, I should back up. So I was raised Catholic, and it wasn't just like, oh, we go to Sunday Mass, we go to, on the holidays, the Masses, sunrise service on Easter morning. It was that, but it was also, my mom had me in catechism classes once a week. And so it was, hi! Hang on, love, I'm coming. Anyway, so my mom would have me in catechism classes. Come here. Hi. Yeah, we're gonna color. There you go, love. No. Sorry about that. My daughter decided that she wasn't satisfied playing with just her toys. So, deeply ingrained, deeply. I wouldn't consider myself ever a devout Catholic. Just, I realized from an early age, because my dad and I had conversations about it, that religion was man-made. And obviously my dad and I would talk a lot about, you know, the hypocrisies of the church and just things like that. My mom's had conversations, not necessarily with me, but like conversations with other people that she then talked to me about using the wrong Bible and things like that. So, anyway, I was raised Catholic, and what really, when the cracks started to show through, was in 2014. So 2014 was a big year for me. I graduated high school, and then, so I graduated high school in May 2014, and then then on June 1st, my grandmother passed away. A week after turning 90. That was June. And then at the end of August, I married my boyfriend at the time. And we were together for about 3 years when we got married. I think we got married on our 3rd anniversary. And then a year later, he came home from work and asked me to leave. So that was October, and then I think we were divorced in November or December. Like, it was a really easy divorce process because I didn't want anything from him, he didn't want anything from me. It was literally just, we wanted the paperwork to be done. And, you know, that's how it goes sometimes, right? Then, while I was separated and going through my divorce, I discovered that non-monogamy and polyamory was something that I wanted to explore, and that it felt right in my bones and in my soul. It felt right. So I was coming to terms with, obviously I wasn't Catholic anymore, or I didn't view myself as Catholic, had started going to a Baptist church, and I was actually baptized because at where I was at that time felt right. So that was a year after separated, and I think we had already been divorced for a while. I think a few months, at least a few months. We had already been divorced. And I had actually found this church through my ex-husband. But I really enjoyed the people, and the people at the church felt like family. And it felt like I had found a new home. And I was still struggling with my relationship with God and like religions, but I was trying to reconcile the two things, because being raised Catholic, like, God is so ingrained in everything that it was really hard to be like, well, at that point I wasn't letting myself say I don't believe, or I was just reconciling some things, because I was coming to terms with my sexuality, I guess. Not that anyway. I know I'm rambling. Hopefully you're kind of understanding what I'm saying. So, I was anyway, I was embracing my church family, but I was also embracing non-monogamy and polyamory, and I was trying to see how they fit together. And at the time, some of my church family members, so we would do like Bible study groups. So during group one night, one guy said that he was struggling with his roommate coming out as gay. And so he was praying for I think he phrased it as the roommate was struggling with coming to terms with that he was gay. And I was like, oh, well, he needs love. He needs love. He needs support. He needs friends. Like, it's okay to be yourself is what I was going through in my mind. And it very much sounded like they were praying not to be gay. And I understand that. Like, if you're so ingrained that being gay is wrong, that anything that's different, you have to be ready to shatter your foundation before you can realize the truths about yourself, right? And I was kind of in the same boat with, well, I'm not gay, but I am non-monogamous, and It's not the same, but it's still a category of other. And with it being other, and other is bad, and other is wrong, it's not the same thing, but it's a similar thing. Hi, baby. Yeah, you're coloring. That is pink. So that was 2014, 2015. And so I was fully embracing polyamory and non-monogamy, and I was dating around. I was dating multiple people, and I was still going to church and trying to find my way. And I felt a lot of shame and guilt around my identity as non-monogamous. And yeah. So anyway, I want to say 2016. I want to say it was 2016. I moved to Albuquerque. And when I moved, I stopped going to church because I knew that I would never find another church that felt as homey as the church that I was going to back home. And it was scary, but also kind of liberating. And so it was liberating to be able color on this. It was liberating to not have the pressure of finding another church, another family, another home. That I could just be myself and I didn't have to reconcile, because I wasn't trying to reconcile anything anymore. I was just, this is who I am. So I might have to cut that box up more. Oh wow. So from 2016 to 2018, I was just living. I wasn't trying to reconcile. I was still trying to like find myself and like who I am and things like that. So I was like, okay, well, non-monogamy, polyamory fits. And I'm not sexually attracted to women, but the label biromantic fits. So it's like, yeah, I can kiss women and I can cuddle women, and like that's fine. So, non-monogamy, polyamory, biromantic. So, in 2018, I had my first miscarriage. And I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm just going to say it happened. And it shattered more of the foundation that I had as far as religion and God went. Because at the time, the only person who knew that I was pregnant had a miscarriage, which I had found out I was pregnant, and then the next day I miscarried. So anyway, so at the time, the only person who knew that I was pregnant was my boyfriend. So like I didn't really have any friends. I wasn't really talking to family. Like I was going through some shit. And it was very, like I was still even though I wasn't like going to church, I still thought of myself as Christian and having a relationship with God. And it was like, how does a loving father figure let you go through this kind of a thing? Like, why does this happen? Why, like, and it's so common. Miscarriage specifically is common. Like, so 1 in 4 is the statistic for miscarriage. So it's really, and especially early miscarriages like what I had, where it's even before the 5-week mark. So that's 1 in 4 statistic doesn't actually account for the early miscarriages, because unless you're trying and testing and you know that you were pregnant, you would have thought that you had just started your period. So, anyway, super common. And I was really struggling. Yeah, you have a box? And then, so at that point I was like, after my first miscarriage, my thought process was, I don't think I'm for God anymore. And then, so six months later, I had a second miscarriage. And it was the same thing. Tested, had a positive result, and by the end of the day it was not not a positive test anymore. So that was 2018. And so So 2018, the rest of the foundation shattered. I'm like, well, when your foundation shatters, what are you left with but to rebuild and reconstruct? So since then, that's what I've been doing. So, hi baby. So yeah, you have a box. Yeah. So, moving forward. So, in 2022, did get married, and our whole polycule was there, and it was amazing. It was very loving, and you know, we had family that mattered there. And then shortly after, I found out I was pregnant, and we had our rainbow baby. And since she's been born, it really kicked my journey with finding myself and my beliefs into overdrive, because I want to be the best version of myself that I can be for her. I need to be the best model of humanity for her. I want her to grow up to be strong and courageous. And in order for her to do those things, I have to lead by example. So I've really been deconstructing my religious values and beliefs even more. You need me to pick it up? One more? Thank you. So my journey so far is it's scary to say things out loud. Hi. But I know that the scary things are the things that need to be said. So, hi. So where I'm at in my spiritual journey, finding my true self, Where I'm at is I do believe in a higher power. I don't know what that higher power is exactly. I don't know what that higher power is exactly. But I know that it's not God. Okay, love, hold on. Hold on. I know that higher power is not God. At least, not the God of the Bible. Or any of the man-made religions. And that's not to say that if you believe that I'm discrediting you in any way. If you believe and you find power in that, that's great. And I love that for you. And this isn't me bashing religion or anything like that. I have love for you and I want the best for you. Whatever that means. But for me and where I'm at, it's just not true for me. The God of the, it doesn't bring me comfort or it. Anyway, I believe in the freedom of religion, which means you also have to have freedom from religion. And I don't hold anybody's beliefs against them unless they impact human rights of other people. So that's, anyway. So, I believe that there's a godlike divinity in each one of us. And we all have the potential to tap into that and be the creator of our own destiny, our own reality, our own life. I don't believe in coincidences. No, love, you can't sit in your chair right now. It's okay. Do you want this? Do you want this? Okay, well, baby, we'll dance in a minute, okay? It's okay. Just give me 1 minute, okay? mainly just wanted to make this video so that if you're trying to reconcile old beliefs with new beliefs, that you're not alone, and that it's hard work, but you're doing great. Hold on now. Hold on. And so on a slightly lighter note, another thing that sparked my journey to finding myself is a long time ago I saw this thing that was like, your personality is a combination of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And I'm like, that makes sense for bad reasons. Especially when you look at man-made religion, where you're born kind of dictates what religion you might be. You know, like culturally, if you're born in the Middle East, you're going to be Muslim. If you're born in the US, you're typically going to be Christian, and things like that. So I'm like, okay, so if your personality is a byproduct of the 5 people you spend the most time with at any given moment, then who are you? Who am I? Because I'm like, so since I've had my daughter, I don't spend time with 5 people. Like, I have myself, my husband, and my almost 2-year-old. So my personality is a mix of my husband and my 2-year-old. Anyway, that's to say that the journey of critical thinking and deconstructing your belief, it's a hard journey, but it's one that needs to happen. And it's okay that your foundation is shattered, and it's okay that you have to rebuild. But it's liberating on the other side. And I'm still in the process of rebuilding and like finding exactly what I am and what I need and who I am. Anyway. Okay, love, I'll be there in just a minute, okay? Just a minute. Anyway, if you're on a similar journey, or if you have a story, I'd love to hear it. And I want this to be a safe place So, anyway, all I ask is be kind and respectful, because it's important for me that I say things in love and kindness. And I know that the world is a very unkind place. And I just want this to be a little safe haven. So just be kind, and we will lovingly continue the conversation. The only rule is don't be an asshole.